What do you make of this? I mean, it was a shock to us. Was it a shock to you?
I think when John McFarlane was originally appointed chair, speculation began that Jenkins would eventually leave. So the timing was not unexpected, but actually the event was, I would say.
Which brings me to the next point. New leadership is required to accelerate the pace of the execution going forward. And yet he goes on to say in that same statement that there's no radical shake-up in strategy. That's a misnomer.
Well, it's interesting because the statement that was put out this morning by Barclays was unusually clear. I mean, in terms of saying that the outgoing CEO was really leaving because they needed a new set of skills, and then McFarlane coming in as the executive chair said, "Look, we've got to focus harder on revenues, costs, and really just doing things better and more quickly."
Well, we've had an investment banker who bought the Lehman assets and left them holding the puppy and the baby in terms of litigation, quite literally, frankly. Behaviour at Barclays under the tenure of Bob Diamond was anything but good. We've had a retail man through and through. So investment banker doesn't work. Retail banker doesn't work. What works?
What I think will work for Barclays is aggressive pruning of the investment bank, and probably my guess is that the Barclays board thought that that the CEO Anthony Jenkins just wasn't up, really couldn't get it done.
You know, 7,000 job losses. They languish at number 8 in the league table, I think, in the Bloomberg story, in fixed income commodities and currencies. I'm sitting at Barclays Investment Bank. Where are the business areas that will be first, as it were, in the line of fire? If you're languishing at number 8 in a league table...
Yes, understood. I think that the focus, as McFarlane is pointing out today, is what can generate revenue growth, where can they cut costs, and what is capital efficient for the bank. And all of those things actually lead to pressure, I think, on the investment bank in particular.
But it's hard. I mean, it's a human side as well. If you're sitting in a bank where you've just got a new CEO for 3 years, you've just gone through a radical shakedown last year, why would you stay? Why would you stay? If I was sitting in Barclays right now, on the trading floor or in a part of that bank, I'd be bringing a headhunter. I wouldn't be hanging around to find out what hangs out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's been much pity ever spared for investment bankers, you know, throughout history, particularly recent history. So,
it's not about pity, though, is it? It's actually about... there's two sides to the coin. They pay tax.
Yeah. Well, I think that the investment bank, there is a part of the investment banking operations that can generate good revenues with limited costs and limited capital impact.
What are they?
But, well, there are some parts of the fixed income business. There's the equity business, provided, again, it's all sort of, these are big blocks, but provided chunks within those blocks are configured properly, I think that they could actually deliver a decent return.
We've also got Africa, credit cards and personal consumer banking. I mean, they stay, they grow. They are the good pieces, not good pieces, they are the more productive pieces, the more efficient return on capital pieces in this jigsaw, aren't they?
Yes, I've long, well, since about, I think, 93, had a decent opinion of the UK retail bank. Barclays learned their lesson in terms of how to do proper, in my view, proper retail banking a long, long time ago, and have never forgotten that. So the UK bank, I think, is a very strong asset, a very strong franchise within the Barclays Group.
Sandy, I know you've changed your rating very briefly before we go. What's your new rating on it?
Well, after at least 4 years of being a seller, I've upgraded to a hold.
Radical move from Cenkos. Sandy, great to get your opinion on that. Sandy Chen there from Cenkos on the bank's story of Barclays.